on 4K, that's why it's taking so long.
Again, while saving the file, it takes a lot of
Lot of time, yes, a lot of time. This file is around 6 GB.
the same.
So 6 GB, so it takes a lot of time to save, and my system is going out of memory. So what I did is basically, as you can see, just a one folder of head, and if I go to my smart material, you can see I have a, you can see dark one. I have created a smart material out of it with all the element, everything compiled together, and created smart material and applied the same thing to body. So I got the basic feel. So I worked on my head basically. So I'll show you all the things. So you can see I use bronze and all for this golden this thing. So, so we started with like this is something I guess you remember. We have started with that blue skin creature skin that's already available in the substance. We started with that. This is the just the base. Nothing else. I haven't changed anything. I haven't modified anything. It's exactly whatever it comes with the default. I use that directly. Nothing else. Then top of it, you can see if I click on this alt, I have added the cavity curvature map. So these are things like I was like about to like explain, like because to get the detail, because what happens, substance generate everything based on the generator, but what happens sometimes it lose because you have to check your texture by pressing C, like your texture, your only in color, like when you create a texture only in diffuse map, it should look like your actual character, that detailing should be there. Then roughness, because it might look a combination of all those three on screen, it might look nice, but when you import it into game engine, it won't look that nice. But because this is something output for only optimized for substance, not for Unreal. So or in any other engine or any other software, maybe suppose you want to render it out in Maya Arnold, or maybe you want to use some other render V-Ray, that time it won't work. So make sure you need to add enough detail on your surface. So you can see nothing happens. Why? This is, if I press C roughness, this is only and only for roughness I have used. The cavity map, you can see I have used it, I imported it here, then I created a fill, and under fill I just imported the cavity map. Then I inverted it and used it as a screen. So what happened, all the cavity, all the like a depression in my model become white, because usually when you create like all the creases, all the depth, they are usually don't shine because light cannot reach there, it cannot reflect back. So I made it all, you can say it's not 100% white, but it's almost white. So I made it white so that I get that nice variation on my surface. If I press M, if I zoom in, you can see that depth is black, a little bit dark. It's not shiny, and the extrude, that all the skin part you can see here, it's very clearly visible. That variation, that difference between this skin detail and the upper surface and lower surface is very prominently visible. If I switch it off, you can see everything is same. This is clear, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I just basically use my cavity. So like this is I added later, like not initially. Initially I create the entire head. Then I felt like this doesn't look that nice. I still missing something. So what I did, I just went ahead like and added the cavity in my roughness, only and only in roughness, nothing else. If you click this map, you can see only and only my roughness is activated, nothing else. So it basically enhance my roughness. If I check this thing, see, you can see now if I switch it off, my roughness is almost flat. So you thing is like good quality texture is basically your roughness should have equal amount of detail as your diffuse map, and your normal also should support that equally. So a combination of your normal map, your roughness map, and your diffuse map, you will get very good quality texture. Because whenever you change anything, you need to you need to modify a few things for your roughness, few things for your diffuse, and few things for your this thing normal map. So this is what I did. I just added this thing for roughness. Then I have one more layer. In this you can see I have added one color and roughness. And roughness you can see I have added a this is dirt. This is a default dirt available in substance. I just added that dirt. I just added a fill. Like I guess you know this. For adding any mask, like any texture in your mask, you need to add a fill, and then on that fill you need to apply. Like suppose I'll show this. I'll just create a layer, and I want to use this for roughness and color. So color, let's take a bright some bright red or something, some color, very really bright, and it's quite glossy, right? So for this, but this is if I click on diffuse, see, you can see it's 100% flat. But don't want it to be flat. I want variation, because variation is very important for gaming. Because we have less amount of polygons, we have small texture size. So what happens, so to get those detailing, we create a lot of variation in our texture. We focus really give a lot of attention to a texture, add nice detail, nice variation, try to add a lot of variation in your diffuse, normal, and roughness. So you can see, and if I go to roughness, it's again flat. So it's all flat. So what I do, because I don't want it to be flat, I want it to have some variation. So what I do is right click, add a black mask. So it just simply nothing. It does nothing. You can see for this also, you can see I have added variation. So this is how I created. Right click, add a fill to mask. It's a fill. I have added this fill to mask, not the base layer. Then you get this grayscale this box where you can add any map. You can simply click here and find for some noise or dirt. So you can see by default substance have tons of procedural maps available, and doesn't matter it's a grunge, it's a concrete, it's a what, it just like how you are using it, all depends upon that. So some I need some like texture variation, some color variation. Oh, this is too dark, so I'll use something, let's see. Okay, this looks fine. So the see, the moment I added this mask to this, my roughness got all this variation, some seam. So I'll go and change it to triplanar. Instantly things fixed, but still it's not that detailed. So what I can do, go and increase my scale. Now I have nice detail, lots of tons of variation going on. Same if I go to color now, base color, you can see this color also got all those color variation. So a substance, like for everything you have to create a mask. So how smartly you can create a mask and how detailed you can create a mask, it will generate all the maps and all detail based on that. So like focus on that, how to create this thing very nicely. So if I suppose I create this detail, and on this detail, because this is like you can see this is all generic, it's not specific to this model, it's all generic. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead, right click, add a generator to this, and maybe I'll add a dirt. So what will happen, you can see instantly it changed my entire texture based on the dirt. All the you see cavities become like really prominent red. Rest things are little bright and uh, bright and like using the base. So you have this dirt. If you want, you can modify this dirt. If you want to invert, you can invert it, or if you don't want to invert, don't invert it, and click on the mask. Always check your mask. Now right now you can see the base mask was nice, lots of variation. The moment you switch on dirt, it becomes almost flat. Like flat means these are full white and these are dark. It loses all the detail from your base, this grunge. So what I'll do, I select the dirt and change the this blending mode to multiply. So what will happen? It will retain the detail from my base plus combine with my dirt. Or I can just simply move to screen, like whatever result or like whatever output I want. Based on that, I'll change it, or maybe overlay or other stuff. In this case, multiply. So if we go back and check on maps, you can see now it already retained my detail from the map and added this dirt to the cavity. So now suppose this is red, way too like red is not the correct color. So I can just simply change it to some, suppose, dark brown or something. So you can see, if I see this is my color, if I go to my roughness also have the same amount of variation. But in my roughness, all the detail become white, black. So black means shiny. I don't want them to shine. So what I'll go to roughness, select my map, this map, and change it to screen. So what I so in my actual map, actual texture, this is in multiply, but in my roughness, I change it to rough screen M. So now you can see all the cavities. It was shiny initially. Now it become non-shiny, and it got, you can see, nice detail because it's supported with the help of that cavity map and plus all those dirts. So this is what I did. For every step, I added a color and added all those detail and modified my roughness, modified my diffuse, and modified my normal. Because normal I didn't modify a lot. Reason being, in my high poly already there's a lot of detail, so I didn't need. I didn't want it to mess up. So I didn't use a lot of normal variation, but I use roughness and diffuse variation a lot. Then you can see I have used a wood chip. This thing. This is a wood material. It's processing or what? So you can see, then I have used this wooden smart material, simply drag drop and modified my, you can see, modified my generator. So in generator I use curvature, and if you see generator, you can right click, add generator, click, you can see you have a curvature. So I have used that and modify based, I have generated this detail based on my curvature of the model. So based on that, I modified it and added. You can see if I remove the paint, if you use a generator, what happens? It generates the detail everywhere, everywhere. But I didn't. I don't want that wooden texture or that hard surface detail, because the wooden surface is very hard and rough. You can see. So I don't want that detail on my face. So what I did, I just used a paint and masked that section. Always check your mask. It was like this, not like this. I just simply painted the mask with black. That's it. And for whenever I paint, I never use I always try to use some textured brush because it gives me this nice blending detail in the corners. So you'll get nice realistic looking texture, because in nature nothing is flat solid. So there are lots of tons of variation. So that's why I have created this thing. and just a smart material with this mask. So only the mask I have created. Just one second, just switch it off. Oh, okay, I opened it. Sorry, my mistake. This brown color, like I just added. If I want, I can remove it. Just remove it. I just don't keep. I don't want to mess up my texture. So then this thing. Then this layer is something I added texture. Like texture from Megascan Quixel Bridge. I downloaded this. I already explained this in video. It's there. Like I downloaded this texture, and I just like imported normal, roughness, and base, and applied the texture directly here. And then I generated a mask, like applied a generator, then painted few area. I'll just show this. So by default, when you use generator, you can see it's all white. Nothing special is going on. It's outdated. Okay, mask builder. Where is my mask builder? Just give me a second. Oh, my substance got updated. Yes, that's right. So you can see now this is my detail. So I just use a mask builder. It creates mask, and you have all this level of detail, contrast, tri-planar, what you want to use, and all those things. It already have it. So I'll use tri-planar and try to use tri-planar all the time, so it will remove all the seam from your model, because seam is something is not acceptable at all. Then I use a paint. What this paint is doing, I really can't see anything. Then I use a light from generator, from because for the direction base become dark, top become light. Then added a paint to cover my face, my character's face, because I don't want this wooden texture on my model and this detail, this mossy detail I didn't want on my face. So I just, you see, I kept it little really small and subtle. So like this, if you want, you can add a ton. You can add tons of actual textures, scans on your model to get realistic looking detail. Then I have added color, only a color. Because this is just a color, roughness, normal, and color. So roughness, you can see this thing. Normal, there's nothing is going on. So, but this normal, what I did is, if I'll show you, if I switch off, oh, sorry, by mistake. You can see the normal, like wherever this bright color is there, normals become slightly flattened. So how I did it, like two, because by default all the normal maps are in pass through or linear dodge or something, some mode. So what I did, I went to normal mode, I changed it to normal. By default it's in linear dodge. Yes, add, it's in linear dodge by default. So what I thought, like, what I can do is I can just flatten the normal because it's too noisy. To reduce that, I just made that normal, so it won't affect my it won't affect, it will affect the base normal and make it a little bit flat. Then this is just a color, just to add, like, blend this thing nicely, because whenever you have this kind of texture, it should blend nicely. Then I have applied this texture. If you guys remember, initially, like in one class, I showed how to like, project with texture with ZBrush, polypaint. That texture, I use that texture in color, and that same texture exported from Zbrush and imported here. Nothing going on here, only a color and that exported map from Zbrush. No mask, no generator, nothing. It just I got the essence of that color, slightly reddish, that like a skin flesh color. You can see it was full blue, so still have that bluish tint, but not that much. Now it becomes a little bit more towards warm. Then again, you can see slightly more, slightly brighter color. It's just a single color with height and color. So I felt this head should be skull part should be a little bit brighter. So I did this color. If you don't want, don't add this. That's totally up to you. Because if I zoom out, you can see like what I felt like if this top part is slightly brighter, it looks nice. So that's why I added this. Then we have our flat white paint. Nothing fancy going on except I have added dirt on that. If I paint it flat, it will look like this. So I added a dirt on that to generate this detail and make it more organic and blends with my skin. Then bronze. This is something I did later, like some experimenting I was doing. So I thought like I can add some golden color or something. This is again one smart material directly drag dropped and used with metal edgeware. Paint, if I remove the paint, I use generator, metal edgeware. And paint covered the face. It gave me this golden color. I changed brightened bronze is little bit toward reddish. I made it little bit yellowish. That's what I did. I just changed the color slightly. That's and everything is masked. Then if I then after that what I did is I felt like everything is going in one tone, like everything is bright, everything is like clean. Then added a dirt. It's just a color. You can see it's just a color, nothing else. I used a dirt and added this dark color. That's it. Nothing, no roughness, only height, only your color. That's it. The edge scattering is there's nothing is there. It's basically I was trying to export a map, a scattered map, like light scattered map for like your skin. I was trying to export a map, so I was using so that I can use it in Unreal to create subsurface scattering. But it didn't went well, so this is useless basically. I tried this, but this is useless. Okay. Then this vein and all from the blue, this base mask, base material. Then this is again scattering. I tried this because it's under scattering. Use this map. If you don't want, you can simply delete it. Delete it. It's not going to do anything. I think simply switch off the scattering. Use this. Then veins. Then after that, some reddish tint because usually wherever we have thin skin, like near to flesh, like eyes, no near to nose, lips, we have reddish tint. So for this is something I did it near to eyes and nose. Saving. It will take a little bit time to save this thing. It will take some time. And one more thing, like I have like created a couple of video like tutorials and uploaded to YouTube. If you want, you can go and check. Those are like, but that language is Hindi. That's what I did. So because I thought like English is like there's tons of this things available in English. So let's do something in Hindi. Still, it will take some time because this is something like it's like 5-6 GB of file. It will take some time to save it. I'll switch off my Max by the time to free up some memory.
Hello, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Sir, did you check my file?
What?
Did you check my file?
Yes, yes. I checked your file. Yesterday was not there, so low poly is going fine. Only thing is like try to keep it as low poly as possible. Don't add too many loops initially. Try to keep it really low poly, and after that, once your basic like shapes everything is snapped, then you can go ahead and add in between loops. Like with swift loop, you can add loops in between.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
right now it's like it's going fine. Only thing is, so like it's quite dense. Keep it less dense.
Okay, sir. After that, sir, we have to apply any turbo smooth for that.
No, not at all. Low poly
Then, sir,
is
after
no turbo smooth for low poly. Low poly is low poly. Whatever you're creating, that is the low poly.
okay, sir. Okay. Then after creating sir low poly in 3ds Max, then
Hmm.
substance which file we have to take, sir? High poly,
That
right,
low poly,
sir?
low poly.
Low poly.
Low poly
Okay,
is
sir.
your
And then we
low poly is your game
yeah.
model. That is something you're going to showcase everywhere. So you have to import your low poly model in your substance. Then from ZBrush, you're going to export your high poly by decimating the model. Then export it, and in substance, it's saved. Like when you bake maps, you can see you switch on all these options.
Yes, sir.
You can see there's an option for high definition mesh. You have to browse that exported mesh from ZBrush, select that model, then bake it. It will transfer all the maps from your high poly to low poly. That
Okay, sir.
high poly is for this purpose. So like if you can see in my model, like all the details. Just give me a second. Like all these details I cannot create manually. So what I right now everything is I'm using generator. So because all those skin detail, surface detail is already there in my normal map, so that's why generator can read it and generate everything very easily and quickly. So it makes your life
Yes.
easier for texturing, makes very easy. So I added this
Yes,
red
sir.
color next to eye, and then same this white dots, nothing, just simple a paint with some dirt. When I switch a dirt, it becomes really bright white. To blend it, I added some dirt. So in this layer, I just name it properly. Normal depth. So what I did here, if I zoom in, like normal and everything looks fine, everything is fine, but I tried couple of test render, so I felt like normal is really soft. It's not that strong. It's not that strong. So how to make it stronger? So what I did, I created a blank layer, applied my baked that normal map directly here, and you can see if I go to normal, it's in normal some 32% opacity. I just simply added my normal one more time just to like make it stronger. That's what I did with a little bit of a, like made it little bit stronger and sharper. Then we have this. You can see this is just a color. This you see mouth area. It was really dark. So what I felt, I thought like let's add little bit yellowish tint here, subtle yellowish tint. This is not important. This is something like up to you only. You can follow any reference, or if you want to make it red, blue, green, or whatever you are like you think, you can change it to that. I added this color. That's it. So I felt okay. This is like I'm done with the basic head. Then I created a smart material with this. So I'll just show that. Create a smart material, and rest all these are basically extra details. Like I wanted to add some blood, I wanted to add some bluish tint and some other dirt, some other things. Those are extra things that is specific to this part. So I just created this area. It's still okay. It's done. Reset UI. Now if I go to smart material, you can see I have this smart material here. Then now I'll go to my body, select that and make it isolated. And suppose I just switch off all these three. Bake all your maps, bake everything. After baking, you will get something like this flat surface, no detail, nothing. Just drag drop that smart material you just created from head. It's like generating everything. So you can see it generated everything. So now I can see this gold looks really weird here. So what I did, I went back and deleted this gold. So instantly you can see I have this all these details. So then I got all the detail, all information. This paint also there. So this white paint, switch off. I don't need it. Then yes, this white paint I don't need it. Then there's some yellowish color. I don't need it. This then I have this wooden this thing. I don't need it. This color I don't need it. So like this, I just like switched off those things, deleted those areas. Delete this red and white, and then I use that blood and all other like extra color like bluish till light blue color, a little bit dark green color, blue color. So I just change those colors and added extra details. So our base is ready. You can see if I press scene base, and this one like this thing, and you can see almost every detail is ready. There are some errors because those are based on my that head map. So I have to go back and correct those map and then add more details for this shape. This white color is, you see, generating. Similarly, like what I did is I switch on this. Like I modified the base head, so I got the base, and top of that I start working on it and added a few more details here and there. I changed color. You can see I added this really yellowish bright color. You can see the base. Base is exactly the same. There's a where is my yellowish? You can see this yellow ochre color. I added that. Plus I have added this depth. You can see it's same only same thing. I just added couple of few colors and few dirt here and there to make it a bit like different. So my base color is same, and just to add more very because skin is soft. My rest of the body is a little bit harder as compared to skin is a little bit harder, or maybe less sensitive as compared to face skin. So I made a little bit like a change in color here and there, modified things, and you can see color transition is not very prominent, subtle. And top of that, I've added this. You can see this stomach area. Just to make it soft and smooth, I added a little bit shininess plus this slightly yellowish tint. Then I added this blood. This is just a flat color. And if you click on mask, I have added paint. This paint I have used. What I have, okay, just duplicate to show you what I did is duplicate, switch off, paint. It's just a flat, solid red color with high glossy color, and with you can say roughness is high gloss, and there's some height is there. So what I did, right click, added a paint, and I went to this thing, my particles. Under particles, there's a liquid stream. I use this one because blood is basically liquid and it follows your body structure. So what I did, I used that, a big brush. Okay. That's it. That's what I did. Big brush, small brush,
Yes, sir, got it.
right? It's very simple. You see, instantly get all this blood splash, and it basically follows your body structure, and everything is stored it dump into the base, and you can see like how liquid like reacts, like physics, like same thing.
So for the face, we will do the same.
Yes,
And
for face also I did the same, but if I show you head, for face also I did the exact same thing. Where is my head? Exact same thing, except generated, no, it's generating. Because whenever blood flows, it always due to gravity it goes down. So that flow manually creating is difficult. Particle flow also you can use it, but particle flow gives you more of a patch kind of effect, not like a liquid feel. So I use a liquid. So it can use all those particles. It's already available. Just a one button click. That's it. You can try it out. Yeah. So now you can see. If I switch on this, I have you can see the same. If I just switch on this, you can see this is my blood. So initially, when I created this, it was because everything is stored at the base, so it becomes really solid red like this. So then I felt it doesn't look nice. So what I did, I used another paint. This time painted black instead of white. Same liquid. So it created some variation here and there. You can see, and a subtle color change. And because it's liquid, so wherever it's storing, the color is prominent and dark there, and wherever it's not get color, it's not getting collected, that part is light. So it's it's very effective way to create it. It's very easy. So you see all the like cavity area are darker and all the like top parts are lighter. So just like randomly created. So it basically gives me like little bit more variation. And then I added few things like this subtle bluish tint you can see, because I felt this looks like too red everywhere, so I added slight bluish tint. Same thing, you can see it's just a color, nothing else. Then to create slight variation in roughness, so I've used a you can see again a curvature, again a curvature map. This is I have modified it. I have combined my curvature and my cavity map together in Photoshop and then imported it here. See, see. So you see, because I felt it's bit more of looks like dry. So added slightly shine all over that, and these are like specific to that part, body part only. So those layers are separate, and then I have added a skin detail. This is grunge rock, nothing nothing special. Like after, but after this also, one more step is there. If I go and see my diffuse map, base map, you can see base map now have a decent amount of detail, but still it's not that this lines, and I want a separation between all the cavities and all. So what I did is, I'll show you my actual texture.
So while rendering also, uh, the skin pores and these things are not visible.
Yes, exactly. It's not visible. So for that, I did something. I'll show you. There are two ways. Either you use displacement map while rendering, or where is my maps? So I modified my maps. I'll just show you in Photoshop.
So like you saw that Mother Teresa sculpt.
That is production render. That is something they did it in Arnold with the help of displacement map. That is, so production renders are, the production pipeline is different. They create a model. Their model usually have base details. They don't have much of information from colors and all. They use displacement for creating all the high detail render. Without that, you won't be able to see anything. Open, and where is my base color and toughness? I need to open this one. This is the old one. Okay. So if I zoom into my model, or like this texture, you can see here all my lines and all these things are crispy, right? Or everything, you can see each and every cavity. If I go to substance and press like F3, check my like texture. Here you can see it's not that crispy. It's that contrast is not that much. So what I have done, I exported the map and I imported the cavity and multiplied it and reduced the opacity slightly. That's it. So I got this detail, nice, clean. So I got all, you can see all these lines, they're really sharp here. But in substance, it's not that sharp. It's really blurry and smudgy. So when you render it, you can get those colors very prominently. And plus one more thing, what I did, my roughness, I imported my cavity, inverted it, and use it as a screen. If I go to my substance, you can see this detail is there, but it's not this prominent. It's just little this thing, subtle and blur. So what I did is, I just simply like added the multiply this screen my this thing cavity map and generated this map. That's what I changed in my exported final texture. So what happens when you do this? Let's close this. I'll show you the this thing effect in Marmoset, because I have rendered it in Marmoset. And like one more thing I usually follow, like whenever I am ready with my high poly, low poly, and UVs, what I do, I quickly throw lots of colors and whatever I'm planning or imagining or whatever reference I'm following, add without any modification. I apply lots of generators and colors and maps. Then I tried some quick renders, because everything depends like how it looks finally, right? Fine output matters. It doesn't matter like what you did in diffuse, what you did in color, and doesn't matter. It matters like how it looks finally. I try a quick render, and then I see identify, okay, this because those multiply I did because I felt okay, these things are not that prominent, doesn't feel that nice, or make looks bit blurry, so I made it bit crispier. So always try quick renders and all. Like whenever you create your model, like initial basic texturing, always try to render it out. And especially it's for games, so try Marmoset or Unreal. Marmoset is very handy. So create something, like use it something like that. Okay, camera. Okay, give me a second. I just delete all the keys. Please delete it. The entire animation and all those things are there, so you want to delete. Yes. What? Come on. Okay, what is zooming in? One second. Let's focus the camera only. So what I did is, so once I like kept, you can see now it's using that detailed, diffuse and roughness. So my all these lines, all these skin pores detail become crispy. If I don't have that, it will all become smooth and like really soft. So that is something I don't want. I want, that's why I try a test render. Test, once you try the test render, you, if you understand okay these things are missing, so you always go back and add those extra detail. So like it's not a, like just you just textured it and it's done. No, you have to try it out, render it out, and check it everything, and then based on your render, you have to go back and fix your things as well. That's what I did. Like I went back. Then this wings also I changed the color and modified lots of things. Initially it was like more of blue. Now it's more of orange and reddish and grayish color. Then eye color, the eye. I used MSF, but in substance in Marmoset I switch it off. You can see I switch it off. I'm not using it. So I created those things. So then I, based on my render, I tried like what are the things it work, what things doesn't work. So I just left those things, and based on that I modified everything. So try it out. Focus on one part or only on your head. I can see like especially for Anshuman, you can see my eyeball and eye, this outline, this eyelid. It should be prominently separate. Like right now, it's like in your render, what is happening? That render and this thing. Downloads. See this part and this there's no because you miss that. Initially I said na, like whenever you create eyelid, make sure that thickness is visible. That thickness is missing here. So that thickness
Yes.
we have to create. That thickness, once you create a thickness, it will look nice. Because right now it looks like two sockets, two eyeballs are just placed there. There's no socket for that to cover that area. that you to create this one more loop and push it slightly up and create this like cover it, like it should be fit inside that socket. It's not just placed there, right? That socket is missing. That socket you just need to add. And try marmoset instead. If you finding difficulty in rendering or baking, use marmoset for baking, and then import those things into a substance and then start texturing. Okay.
Yes.
Chalo, I'll see you guys on Monday. And use your weekend time, do something, and next entire week I will be, and the class time will change because otherwise we won't have time, enough time. So class time I'll mail you guys. So based on that, I'll clear all your doubts. Anything, if you have any doubt on anything, maybe it's a basic thing, I'll explain it once again. But make sure clear your doubts and practice. If you're not practicing, then there's no cannot do anything. So practice and do it, and like what can I say? Like practice, do it, and